gonna scoot it so they can see the lava lamp a little bit. All right. Guess I'll do my intro. Yo, what's up? Welcome back. How's everybody doing? So today, as you can see by the title, your boy got himself arrested for the first time yesterday, and I got a full fucking story to tell you. Not only is this story fucked up, but it's got a lot of examples of how corrupt police are right now, and it's got some really good information that I think a lot of people out here need to know about, because this is what our police are doing right now. So anyway, let's start off the story. So yesterday, me and my mother went to this park, which is on no man's land. It's basically on the States and the Canadian. So it's a provincial park, state park. We went there as Canadians, we're allowed to. And we went and visited a friend. We did a live stream. And then we came back. And as we were leaving, we were already actually out of the park. We were on the road to go to our vehicle, which is already in Canada. It's not in the park. And a police officer had his truck parked
in the alleyway.
In the alleyway,
yeah,
waiting for people to basically cross through to go to their cars. And he was asking us for our ID immediately. Okay, wait, let me say that again. So I walked up to the cop and I said, "Hey," and I have my dog, and he said, "Hi, let me see your ID." I was like, no, I'm not breaking any laws by being here. I don't see a reason why you have to ID me. And he's like, "Actually, that's what we're doing here now." And I'm like, "Is that a law?" And he said, "Yes." Which it is not a law.
We looked it up. We looked it up, and I said, "That's not a law." But I voluntarily just handed him my passport because I had already been dealing with this doorknob before already, and I just am not in a place to deal with craziness because I'm supposed to be leaving this country, so I don't want any harassment, so I just handed it to him.
Yeah.
But he kept harassing Nate.
I didn't have my passport on me.
Trying to tell him he's breaking the law, and we're like, no, he's not. And then he's like threatening the border.
He's
and
threatening
I'm like
to quarantine me for 14 days.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm going to take you to a quarantine camp." And we're like, you can't just pick up a Canadian that's just walking.
So funny.
And go take him to a quarantine camp. He kind of hesitated and gets in his vehicle and starts moving on. He's like, "Hang on a sec." And we're like, Nate's like, "Do we legally have to do anything?" I'm like, "You're not attaining anyone." And the guy's like, "I'm not attaining anyone." Okay.
I walked away because he said, "I'm going to make a phone call. Hold on one sec." I'm like, what is going on right now? Why is this guy making a phone call and checking my ID when I'm literally just leaving this park, and he's threatening to put me into quarantine for 14 days? I'm like, bro, I'm out of here. So I ran.
I told him not run.
I ran.
Like, this dude that just appease him and just let him do
which obviously was a stupid thing to do, but at the same time, I was not breaking any laws by running. I mean, this cop literally didn't have any reason to stop me, ID me. I wasn't breaking any laws by being there. I didn't have any reason to be even talking to this cop, so I ran away.
And I walked because I can't really run, and I'm not going to run. I didn't have
I know my fucking rights, man. It's just bullshit.
So, anyways, he took off. I didn't. I went to my vehicle. And all of a sudden, I got all these cop cars trying to block me in. I know my rights. And you don't mess with me knowing my rights. And I've really done a lot of stuff with the police. Like, I've helped find missing people.
They tried to block my mom in, and I wasn't even in the car. I was running.
And the last time that cop pulled this stuff, he actually got in trouble.
And tell them what you said to the cops, because that was badass.
I was like, I suggest you fucking move your vehicles, because you're breaking the law, and if you get in my fucking way, I'm gonna make calls that are important, and you're not gonna like what's gonna happen. They quickly reversed out of there within 2.2, funny thing was, he's calling while the cops in my window. I'm not answering the fucking phone. My phone is so brilliant, it's singing music. So it's singing
She has
zombie.
the fucking
It
zombie
sounds like
song.
I'm just playing a radio song. So the cop has no clue that it's my son calling because it's just playing a radio song. I'm a smart mom. Anyways, he was
As
really...
if you preemptively added that
No,
as your
I've just
ringtone.
always
You
had.
always
I've always
had
had
it.
music on it. No, I'm just saying I'm a smart mom to not answer the phone while the cop's
Yeah.
sitting there harassing me. And I said, "You don't want to do this. I have not broken any laws." And he's like, "If he gets in your vehicle, it's an accomplice." I'm like, "Accomplice to what? You never detained him. You never arrested him. You never said stop. Hold. You have to do that. You can't just like decide, that's it. This guy's running. I'm gonna take him down."
That's what
like,
he decided.
It don't
He
fucking
called
work that
7
way.
fucking police cars
So
on me.
he calls me. I'm up the road because I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this until I need to. But I'm doing it right. I'm gonna do it right. I'm not gonna be having cops get both of us because the thing is, that's stupid. You get a bad cop breaking laws like that and pulling that kind of shit. What you gotta understand is, you're already in trouble. So
Yeah.
now you gotta be careful.
That's why you comply.
One of you is
and be
going
quiet.
down no matter what. But you have one of you on the good line, paying attention to being a witness and paying attention to what laws are being broken and not broken. You're on the outside. You can get help. Like, it was already too late. The moment I saw what those cops decided to do with him, I was like, that's it. It's too late. I'm not getting involved in any way or form in that sense. So, and I told him that because he phoned and I phoned him. I told him, I said, you're going to have to get out of it clear enough that then I know you're okay. And yes, like, I'm not going to leave him though. Like, actually was just in the next little town over.
You were trying to get me to walk all the way up to this gas station.
Yeah. Where it was safe.
But what ended up happening is that they found me on the way to the gas station. They pulled up with about fucking 3 cruisers. Apparently they had a total of 7 cars looking for me. For what reason they need 7 cops looking for someone who's not breaking any law, I couldn't fucking tell you, but apparently that's where our tax dollars are going towards. Busting civilians for going on parks. So anyway,
I'm calling his phone over and over and over again.
I want to talk about me getting arrested because they basically pulled up and the old guy comes out of the car and the first thing he fucking says to me is, "You're going to jail and your dog's going to the pound." And I'm like, holy fuck, who is this guy? Like, is this guy fucking for real right now? Like, am I having a dream? Like, or is this a fucking real cop right now? Like, that's what I'm genuinely wondering. And this fucking guy is a complete asshole, it turns out to be. I was talking to him and he's like, "Yep, that's what I love to do. I just love to bust fucking idiots. I don't care about busting bad guys." I'm like, I'm not even a bad guy. And he's like, "I don't care. I just like busting idiots." That's what he said.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, like, great, good for you, man. I'm glad I'm fucking paying taxes for that shit. So, all right, so yeah, they handcuffed me, and you can see my hands. Let it focus. Come on.
It's like not picking it up very well.
No.
He's got little bruises on him. You can't see him very well with the camera for some reason.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It's not focused. Because your face is there or something.
Why is he doing that? Anyways, he's got a couple.
I gotta get the shot. Right here. Oh, you could fucking hardly see it.
Yeah, you're not
seeing
it that well.
Look, they put cuffs on me. Either way, they put them on pretty fucking tight. That's why there's a couple scars on my hands. But What were we gonna say?
And then I'm calling his phone over and over and over again. I'm also sending messages. I said to him, "You need to tell him you need a lawyer." I'm like, "And do I need to make some calls to my government people that I know?" So, and then all of a sudden, the moment I sent that text, I start calling, and the first time I get a hello, and it's the damn officer answering my son's phone. And he's threatening to put OG in the pound and
More
telling me
unlawfulness.
all this stuff. And I said, "You better fucking not do that. I suggest you're about to break the law, buddy." And he tells me where I gotta go to get the dog. I go to that place, and I go and ask for help. I see two police officers, and I said to him, "Hey, listen, my son and I were walking around, and my son got picked up because he actually took off walking. And he took off running on top of it." I said, "But he didn't do anything, and no one called stop. No one said they were attaining." I said, "They were just checking to see if he was Canadian. He showed his BC license, and that wasn't good enough. He showed him his care card and his social security number. None of that was good enough. This guy was just determined, even blocked me in and did all this stuff. And I showed him all my ID, started threatening me, and the guy's like, that don't sound right at all." Like, and I said, "Well, they said they were gonna take him to some camp, and then I said they also threatened to take him back to the U.S." And I'm like, I get we sound American to people, but we're Canadian. I was like, I just grew up in the U.S. I was like, so he's like, "Are you dual?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm both." He goes, "Oh, there you go." And I was like, "Yeah." And I said, "But anyway," I was like, "I don't know where my son is," and so I was told to come here. He's like, "Yeah," and then I could see that one guy, and he's like, "Yeah, he's not here or nothing." Well, he was there, but the dog wasn't there, and so then that cop told me to go to this other place. So I go to this next place, I go there, and I go talk to a control guy and a police officer. All of them are like, because I'm at this point shaking and pale white and not doing well, and they're like, "You okay, ma'am?" And I was like, "Actually, I'm late for like taking my meds." And I said, I'm actually really sick. I'm like actually leaving the country soon because I can't, I'm like need help." And he's like, "Here, you sit down and stuff. Let me see if we can figure out where your son's going. This doesn't sound right." All this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden he's like, "Ma'am, you gotta go here, here, and here." I'm like, "They put the dog in the middle of nowhere, like on Fourth and One something street." And I'm like, "What the hell?" They're like, "Yeah, it's by some truck stop or something like that, just sitting there." So all of a sudden he gets a call back. He said, "Actually, ma'am, there's a couple cops that were hanging out with your dog instead. They didn't want to leave your dog there, so they just sat there and hung out because they found out what was going on. One of them was on his way to come get you and stuff." So I was like, "Oh, okay, awesome." So this guy comes. He's a totally big, huge guy. He was so kind and so nice and friendly and everything, and he was telling me that I might want to get a lawyer and stuff like that. He's like even telling me, he's like, "Listen, I can tell you where to go stay." He's like, "Listen, just trust me, like don't leave or nothing." Like, he's like, "I know you're not feeling well and stuff," is like that, "and I know you've been running all over the place trying to find your son." He's
So
like,
we're not saying all cops are bad.
"Yeah, they're not all bad." And he's like, "But just listen to me, I'll tell
There
you where to
was
go park."
instances of good cops there.
He's like, "I'm gonna tell you where to go park." He's like, I'm like, "Yeah, I even got like a bed in my back of my camera." And he's like, "Perfect." He's like, "You just go sit there and chill, watch some stuff on your phone or something." He's like, "I'm not technically telling you this, but he's like, just go do this." He's like, "Go park there and then just wait. Like, they gotta let your son go. Like, they can't take him to jail, man." And so I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." And he's
No
like, and
shit.
he's like, I'm like, "Dude, so what do you mean?" Like, I'm like, he's like, "You might want to get a lawyer. Like, you just might want to, okay?" And I'm
Nah,
like, "So did he do anything?"
no.
He's like, "Well, he's not going to jail, so you know." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go and I park in this spot, and like it was like within minutes. And it was like I was even like crying at this moment because I was like, I was really sad about what was going on with this bad cop. But then I was crying because I felt like there was so many police that totally were kind and totally were helping. And like they fed OG. They gave him like a big bottle of water. They talked about what breed he was, which was funny. And like they were just so good. Like, and they even told me where to go, like not to panic and just go home and wait for a call, but like to just wait here because they had to reassure me that my son was gonna be okay. And like, yeah, like, and everything that he said did end up happening. But like, to hear too, like the horrible things that my son was told about me, like
Yep.
it kind of like, to me, I
That's
honestly,
what I was about to say is
it's not anything I would ever say to my son or anything like that. If I would have gone home, it wouldn't have been to abandon him. It would have been because I didn't know where to go.
so let me tell them what they said because they don't know. So basically what the cops said to me is they said, "We already talked to your mom at the gas station and she said she wanted nothing to do with you." And I was like I actually believed that for a sec. I was like, "Damn, what the fuck, mom?" Just leave me, okay? Uh and so they said that your dog's going to the pound. And I was like, fuck, man, like this is fucked. Like, and they were saying I'm going to jail, all this shit. And they have me literally cuffed in the back of the cruiser for like half an hour, just sitting back there while they're talking to each other, probably realizing how much they're fucking up by arresting someone for literally doing nothing.
But
And
walking your dog from a park, like, we did absolutely nothing. Like, nothing. Like,
mhm.
it.
And they brought me in and they
And not only that, it was my first time out, like, almost what, in the whole week, pretty much, right? Like, I've been so sick. My first time to get out in the sun, hang out with my son, and my friend who's driving us, like, helping drive me across the country, just to, like, make sure our plans and everything we're gonna do is great. Like,
mhm.
we're not even with people we haven't been already with. Like, we've already been with this person, like, way back earlier. So it's not like they are not part of our circle or anything. We weren't in a crowd or nothing. We
None of
stayed
that matters though,
afar
but the
from
thing is
people.
they fucking
But I mean, there's no
they
laws we're breaking,
they're
not even
literally
COVID
sitting
laws.
there. The cops are sitting there and waiting to find people to bust them for like some what, like smuggling or some shit. Because they were questioning me about everything in there. They were like, "What did you guys say at the park? What would you guys meeting there? Who were you meeting there? What'd you guys talk about? What'd you guys talk about after you left? What'd you guys this that everything? Walk me through the scene before you got there. Everything." Like they were like fucking questioning me everything, and obviously I could have said, uh, I just want to be silent and get a lawyer, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted them to realize that I'm literally just a person. Like I'm not trying to hide anything,
Yeah.
and I think that worked out for the best because I got out there really quickly. Um, but the
It
whole
was
situation was
traumatic.
fucked. It
Like, it
was
was
just
just
fucked
wrong.
up.
And no matter how many times we would try to remind the officer, like, of the laws, like, their job is to uphold the laws for the citizens, like, to make sure that those laws are being protected. And that even means, like, if laws are being put out, they, they're not laws. There's these things that are being put out that
Right,
they're
like
saying are laws that are not laws. If you go into the laws and the constitutions, if you were to call a lawyer, and they know that because the moment he said, "I want a lawyer," boom, we're out of here. Like they weren't even
well,
around.
that's not specifically what I said. I said it in the right way. I said, if you're not going to send me to jail, then I do not need a lawyer.
Yeah,
And they just basically pushed me out of there as soon as possible.
yeah.
But
But it was interesting. The other thing was
can I
this.
tell them about
Hang
this?
on, I gotta tell them about the charges they told me they were looking at doing to him, because that's why, like, they said that they were a failure to arrest, and I was like, but he never was being arrested. And so, and then the other one was that it
They
was
never said anything like that to me, but
yeah, no, this guy said that the guy who I got
he's
the
probably just an
OG
idiot though.
from.
Like he really didn't know what he's talking
And then
about.
something from, like, what was it? The other one was like failure to arrest, and then I told you what the other one, and I can't even remember what it is right now.
That was another awakening thing. Like, holy shit, man. These a
You
lot of
know,
these cops are not fucking big brain people.
well,
They are
you
just
know they
bullies from high school, literally. Like,
you know they actually have to take a test, and if they have an above IQ, they actually can't even be an officer unless they want to be like a higher up detective or something like that.
yeah, but that test is fucking
It's just
it's basic.
it's basic.
test.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that
An
majority
8th
of your
grader could
average
pass that
police
test.
officers are not super intelligent, because if they are, they won't even be hired as police officers.
Yeah.
It's the reality of what they do in the education of it. And I know that because I have friends that are like, well, I used to be well known by police. I still am, but not in a bad way. I still work with them to help transform communities. So that's why I said I've helped find missing people. I've helped find
All right.
gotta let Shauna, she's in here.
So this is the last thing I got left with, which fucking sucks ass. I have to take.
They took them to the U.S.
They put me on fucking quarantine because apparently that's the worst thing they could do to me. I don't know how I'm fucking forced to do this, boys, but I have literally I have no choice. I'm obligated.
Well, I mean, you could make a call.
Sure, right. Get a lawyer, but this fucking thing says if you don't do this shit, they can charge you up to $750,000. Let me show you.
So, we can't legally arrest you. We can't do anything. But because we brought you across the border, because we did it, we now are going to do this.
So now I gotta fucking send them tests.
It was funny though, the thing that happened graciously for me, because I almost had that happen to me too. But this is what was awesome. The people who was doing that stuff, the lady.
But how does this make any sense?
The lady saw me come in and saw me leave, so she knew I didn't cross over.
I didn't cross the border. I don't need to be quarantined.
Yeah, but they brought you into the border. That's their fault. Technically, you're right. You did shit all, but the cops dragged you into the U.S.
Fucking Christ,
like that's
man.
the sad thing. Like they took him from Canada into the U.S. He was on 171 B Street, and you were on 176 and 4th.
Yeah.
And 4th.
Why does that matter though?
Because that's very Canada.
Oh yeah.
Very Canada. So they took him from there all the way to the U.S. border. Blocks away. Like, that's wrong.
The whole situation's fucked up, boys, and I'm gonna definitely need to see your comments on this. Make sure to share this shit because people need to know that this shit is happening. That's pretty much all we have from the story. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Remember, stay lifted, stay happy, stay baked. And yeah, Jesus Christ, hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. But
speaking of, thank goodness God had our back.
Actually, this could happen. This has probably already happened to a lot of people, and it's still happening.
Reality is this is happening because I'm gonna tell you something. Is that not only has this happened to us, even
stop.
when I brought my story to my friends, it happened to another one of my friends. I have only hung out with 9 people this entire freaking time I've been here, which is 11 months. And 11 months out of my 9 friends, 2 of us, now 3 of us, have had this happen by this cop. And we're not the only one. But the thing is, I want you to understand that I don't like it when all cops get labeled that, because that's just one dude. You know, and then we got a few others across the country doing some stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
But
they're supposed
to,
guys.
They're telling the cops to do that.
I know, but the cops, listen to me. Officers, listen to me. You are here for us. If we're breaking the law, sure, go after us, okay? I get it. You're there for that reasons, because you're there to protect us from people who are doing that shit. But come on, guys, we are all Canadians together. Don't be doing shit that you know is unlawful. Don't do that to our people. You are here for us, man, and we want to support you. Cops, we honor you and we support you. I believe in supporting and honoring cops. I have done that my entire life, man. I have worked with government officials to help transform neighborhoods that were rambled by gangs. My kids have grown up in the ghettos. They can tell you they got to see transformations around them. Even this home we're in right now, one time was a shambles and full of mold and disgusting. And I got on the board and we helped bring money to this place, reset it, brought it into a better community. Now there's businesses blooming all around us. That's the kind of shit I've done. I'm known to help find missing people. I'm known to help cops. I had a cop who got accused of beating somebody up who didn't do anything wrong except for do her job. And I stood for her. So please know when you see this, you come across this, you actually don't have people that are against you. Please, those ones right now that you're questioning what you're doing. If you got a wife at home or if you got a husband at home and you got kids, think about them. What laws do you want them to have to be able to uphold? The ones that we got to be given as citizens, as Canadians, where our rights were written out as freedom as citizens? Or do you want the laws that you're being told to do and break even yourself? What kind of police officer do you want to be? Do you want to stand for the oath that you made when you took your job? You know your oath. Please. We're all telling you, let's do what's right, and we'll all as citizens stand with you. We'll support you 100%. But if you're going to start doing things that you know are wrong to your own citizens, there is more of us in this country than there is of that. And maybe we don't have weapons like all of you guys because Canada has a different situation. But the truth is, really, think about your own kids. What do you want for them?
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you for being here. Yeah, peace.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Thanks. And thanks to the cops that are good. Thumbs up to y'all.